In a way, it ends where it begins.
Very insightful.
Thank you for sharing this Red Baron with us, Linda. It's so tasty, it makes me want to share something of my own. I didn't actually read the book.
Me neither.
I watched the movie last night.
I judged it by its cover.
I haven't read a book since middle school.
I'm secretly seeing 2 other book clubs.
And I can't even read.
I'm not really Gary. He just paid me to be here. Sharing Red Baron pizza can lead to more sharing.
Have I Got News for You is back for another season. Roy Wood Jr., Amber Ruffin, and Michael Ian Black are finding the funny in the week's biggest stories. Have I Got News for You returns Saturday at 9 on CNN and stream next day on Max.
Welcome to the White Lotus in Thailand Cup.
It's a wellness centre.
You should get a facial. The lady in the airport thought you were my dad.
Oh my God.
The Emmy Award-winning HBO original series returns.
There has been more crime on the island.
I'm a little freaked out.
What happens in Thailand stays in Thailand.
Oh, what does that mean?
It means we're not dead yet.
Amen.
Amen.
A new season of the HBO original series The White Lotus premieres February 16th at 9 p.m. on Max.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of... Okay, pupils. What are the whites of your eyes called? Please, I don't like that. You're making my eyes water.
They're making my eyes water.
Welcome to another episode of...
See
you
next
Tuesday.
Woo, 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 woo.
So excited to be here for you all to read the results of last week's episode of But Am I Wrong, which was 130.
Wow.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
We've been at this for a
Very
minute.
much so. First up is you.
First up is me. I do want to say, Mary, this is to you specifically because we know you listen to every episode. I love you hard, girl.
Apologies. We have
sorry.
We have to give you your what was it you were giving? Blue stars, gold stars,
I don't
something
know.
Blue, whatever.
A diamond medallion.
Diamonds are something else.
Okay, you're right. You're right. A tourmaline.
Yeah.
An amethyst, something. That you do listen to every episode, and we're so sorry that we neglected that fact.
Also, Diana does as well, and she thanked us. Did you see? She thanked us in her research paper.
Diana, that means so fucking much to me. You have no idea. And if you guys ever wondered,
that's like winning an award.
Yeah, and who's in the Patreon? Is it just brainiacs like Diana? No. Is it just creative little freaks like Mary? No. You get everything in between. Someone owns a pole dancing studio. There is everyone's all over the world.
Players.
Exactly.
Player, I should say.
Hey, maybe someone else picked up a harp. They were inspired. We've got knitters. We've got people who do hobbies. We've got people who like to cook. We've got people who just like to nap. It's a great time. I got a push notification because now that we have this hooked up to our Facebook, I don't know. It's not really a choice. It's just fucking meta. So now I will get push notifications.
No, it's been there. I purposely did that.
No, but I get push notifications through Facebook, not the Instagram one.
Oh.
So it when I go to click on it, I don't know how to reply as well. And so I'm just always I'll switch over to that. But I just got one, which I assumed was a reply to this story, which was just Mary saying, as a graphic designer, I hate this. And I was like,
no,
I thought I did a great image.
it wasn't that one.
And I found it today and I go, okay, it's not what Melissa fucking posted. That's what the first I was like, damn, Mary, I'm just working with Canva Premium. Why would you do me so dirty like this? I'm trying my best. I was like, what the fuck? But then when I went to the Instagram, I couldn't find that reply. And I was confused because again, it gave me a push notification to Facebook, but I couldn't figure out where that was or how to respond. And then when I was going through today, I finally saw it and I said, oh, okay, good thing I didn't come in hot for Mary being like, what the fuck? But it made me laugh.
Oh, God, yeah. I posted the most unhinged.
Yeah. When I saw that, I was like, what the fuck?
Exactly. And that's the thing.
That's how you know Melissa posted something.
It was supposed to be provocative. And people did use the form. So it worked.
Yeah. It's Melissa's rage fading, soliciting people writing in and calling in. And that's fine. There's so many different tactics we implement. So first up, we have me and the graphic that is beautiful that Mary actually said nothing disparaging about, which is Meghan says, if you're agreeing with Candace Owens, you are on the alt-right pipeline. And if you have not seen, it is in our highlights so you can see, but I will describe it to you. There's a pipe, and there's a person who I made sliding down the pipe.
No, that was very good. I thought you found this image.
No, I made this. This pipe wasn't even this big before. I had to edit them all together. 3% said I was wrong.
There was before you say that, there was a game that I used to play called, like, it wasn't lane pipe, but you had to, it was like tiles of pipe, and I was a child, don't make that face, you fucking disgusting person.
You are the one who said laying pipe. And you're the one struggling to describe it right now.
That is what you were doing in the game.
Yeah.
It was pictures of tile. And so the way that you put it together was like kind of how the game was. And then the water would start running. So you had to make sure that you closed it off before the water got to the end.
They still do variations of that.
I'm like sure they do. All games are all the same.
Who's always
yes.
Yeah. And there's gotta fix the pipes.
And like, I'd prefer just to see the ones with Samuel L. Jackson. I don't know why he's here.
Or Pedro Pascal. That's mine.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I'll take those. Give me Pedro Pascal in like a dimly lit room, like sultrily talking about which one it was. Because, by the way, I downloaded the one that Pedro Pascal was talking about. He was talking about Merge Mansion. And I have that now.
But, okay, back to your pipe sliding.
3% said I was wrong, and 97% said I was not wrong. I will say, I don't know if anyone... I know some people did write in for this, but a lot of people... That 3% really made it abundantly clear that was on accident.
So they say.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I don't know if I believe y'all. I think after you see the results, you're like, you know what? I gotta say that I voted wrong so I don't get kicked out.
Yep. I love a compliment. Someone said, the visual on this is so great. Thank you. Someone said, like, literally, what is even the benefit of listening to one good point that she makes when she continuously makes horrible ones the rest of the time? It also makes me wonder why these people are listening to her so much that they're able to pick out the few not horrible things she thinks instead of investing their time or talking to people who support the policies and support that they do in pride. Yep. And I think it's just, you know, really fitting that people are being like, no, this man is like the utmost feminist and cares about people, and that's why he's giving exclusives to the Daily Mail and Megyn Kelly and Candace Owens. Like, to me, that just screams that's a feminist. That's a man with leftist ideals, and it's a man who loves and cares about women. For sure. Someone else said, sorry, I voted wrong. Meghan is always right. Thank you. And that's it for that one. I'm glad that was pretty cut and dry, and we didn't have anybody up in here defending listening to what she's saying. And also, by the way, that goes for anyone who is using them as a sourse as well. Like, if it is the same talking points that are being parroted by like somebody else, or they're being like, well, and then this person said whatever. If that is being used as any sort of fucking source, wrong, alt-right pipeline. You're on it. You're just like being willfully, you're just closing your eyes while you're on it. I'm just like, I'm scared. I'm just gonna go close my eyes, no hands.
All right. And then, I didn't like that because it sounded like I said alt-right.
Oh.
Next. Melissa says, just because you talk a lot does not make you a great conversationalist.
Wait, you never told me what this is about.
And I didn't say I was going to.
Yes, you told me you'd tell me.
I don't think I did. Roll the tape.
She's not going to roll the tape. And she did say that. Wait. No, you have to tell me.
Then we've got 1% said I was wrong. Megan, there's a microphone going. It's actually a few people. It's not just one person. It was a few people that pissed me off.
Well, I'm also a certified yapper, and if anyone's like, you talk too much, I would literally have to be fucking delusional if I said, gasp, who? Me? I'm so offended.
It's the point of like being a yapper and then not knowing if you actually can carry a conversation.
No, yeah, I am.
Who is wrong? 1% said I was wrong. 99% said I was not wrong. I thought this was going to be a lot more controversial than this.
Me too.
And I was shocked. I thought I was about to shake a little table, like not the whole table, but just like the
just a little rattle.
Table. Yeah.
No. These people, you are their god. They said, finally someone's talking about this. I didn't know this was such an epidemic.
I didn't. I did not. Someone said, as a certified yapper, I definitely am now able to tell when silence is best. As much as I hate sitting in silence, especially with strangers, I'm so self-conscious and hyper-aware of how I come off in social situations, that the second I feel a conversation could be leaning one-sided or the other person generally isn't in the mood to talk, I pull back and wait for them to respond like any decent human would.
It's a very good thing to be aware of.
Mm-hmm. Someone else said, I stand firmly behind this as someone who nervous talks, knowing that there is zero substance to anything that I'm saying.
So mood.
Yeah.
Big mood.
And that's what I like, the awareness.
Yeah.
As it's two people here. They both said that they just talk, but they're aware of it. Another person said, people who talk too much often don't listen when you respond. They're so excited to have a captive audience. This isn't your stand-up hour. Facts.
This is what I said. Start a YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm. And I said, just hit record and delete.
Yep.
Another person, you spell my name wrong, but Melissa is fully right. However, I'm just confused because I always thought they could talk to a brick wall was an insult. As in, like, they could just go on forever. Some people think that it's a compliment. Like they have the gift of that's the thing. They said the gift of gab. The gift of gab. And I say, I didn't ask for this gift. Go give it to somebody else.
No, and you know what their true compliment is not they could talk to a brick wall, is they would make a killing at sorority recruitment. That means you can have an engaging conversation with anyone. You can make anyone feel like being a good conversationalist is making someone else feel like they're a good conversationalist.
Yep. Someone else said, as a quieter person, I love this. Completely agree.
Literally being like, just stop fucking talking.
Someone else said, I know so many people who need to hear this. Oh my God. Send it to him. Mm-hmm. Just say, I love this show.
This made me think of you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like tiramisu?
Hate it.
Me too,
I
but this looks
coffee
so good.
And chocolate mixed
Me
together.
too, but what could we make with this that's not that? Maybe
Is it
a
the
cheesecake?
thing that's on our
Doesn't that look? And I hate coffee, and I don't like that. But texture-wise, maybe it's a coffee. Maybe it's a cheesecake or a mousse.
There's a cheesecake one that's been in our feet too. Maybe just scroll down.
Okay. I'm like, damn. There's something about that texture that's looking really good. Have you heard an icebox cake?
Yeah, I've talked about making one on this podcast.
I loved an icebox cake.
I made it with Oreos.
Oh yeah, I made it with ladyfingers. Which, what the fuck else are you using ladyfingers for?
Right.
So.
There's no flavor in ladyfinger.
No,
but
and
it's great at soaking up flavor.
Soaking it all up.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Someone else said, this is why I don't talk during the live streams. I struggle to feel the vibes when I'm in the same room and Zoom. Absolutely not. And I often talk too much. Us autistics are famously bad at the social cues and vibes thing. We are also known to talk too much and not read the room. Talk about things no one is interested in but us, and or say inappropriate things at inappropriate times. I'm not afraid of silence, though. I just can't read the room, so sometimes it gets a little too silent for a bit too long. And while I don't mind, the other person can feel awkward. Yeah.
That's fair. Also, I think the great thing about our live stream is people will just cut each other off in a way of like pivoting to a different subject or whatever. But we also like learn different things about different people, like lots of random deep dives.
Families, countries,
the metric system, jail.
Which that one gets shut down quickly.
No, yeah, the metric system has actually been it's a forbidden topic now. And sometimes new people will come in and be like, wait, so like what temperature is it there? Like, oh, I'm here. What would that be in metric system? We have to go. We can't talk about it anymore.
Someone else, this hand clap. I hate a mofo that doesn't know when to sit down and shut the F up. And that's all she wrote.
As a podcast network, our first priority has always been audio and the stories we're able to share with you. But at Realm, we also sell some pretty cool merch, and organizing that was made both possible and easy with Shopify. When you think about successful businesses like Aloe or Allbirds or Skims, an often overlooked secret is the business behind the business that makes selling and, for shoppers, buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. That's because nobody does selling better than Shopify. It's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not-so-secret secret that's definitely worth talking about is that Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%. That's more happy customers and way more sales going. If you're hoping to grow your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm.
Shopping is hard, right? But there's a better way. Stitch Fix online personal styling makes it easy. I just give my stylist my size, style, and budget preferences. I order boxes when I want and how I want. No subscription required. And she sends just for me pieces, plus outfit recommendations and styling tips. I keep what I love and send back the rest. It's so easy. Personal styling for everyone. Get started today at stitchfix.com/Spotify. That's stitchfix.com/Spotify.
You found your person. Now let the knot help you with everything else. The knot connects you to the wedding inspo, vendors, venues, and planning tools you need to make your day totally you. Having helped plan 25 million weddings, we've got your back when it comes to every little detail like RSVPs, budgets, and more. Because your wedding comes to life with the connections that matter the most. Get started at theknot.com/audio. The Knot. Let's plan your wedding together.
Oh my God, I forgot to tell you my update on one of the other things I can cross off from my list.
Mm-hmm.
Rihanna just announced she's doing a song in the fucking Smurfs movie.
It's not even a new song.
No, but I knew, someone sent it to me and they said, oh my God, it's not Bluey, but the Smurfs are blue. Like, you really got this, you nailed this down. I knew it.
You did get it.
I got the color of the cartoon even.
Yeah, you did.
I did. You and I loved her, and I loved her in that little animated movie with the guy from The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, I like that too.
I like that movie a lot.
I did watch this trailer because I never plan on seeing this movie.
Whoa, hater. Smurfs? Yeah, Smurfs.
I like the Smurfs, but they're taking the Smurfs out of their Smurf world. And I don't like that.
I don't know what there's to like. No offense, but like I don't know any lore of the Smurfs. Like to me,
that's
it's
because
just, like,
it came out. I think it came out like in the early 80s, and then I was getting the reruns of it. And then by
it's
the time,
a TV show?
Yeah, and then by the time you were a baby, like it was like over.
I thought they were dolls.
I mean, there were dolls, but they were TV
based on the show.
Yeah.
So Trolls were dolls, and then they made a movie.
I don't know the iteration.
I thought it was the same. I thought it was just
I think
like
it was Trolls was a doll. The Trolls also had a TV show too.
Everybody's so creative.
So there's nothing fucking new.
No, not at all.
Yeah,
hey,
Trolls
except
and
for Lyle
Smurfs were out
Crocodile.
at the same time.
Okay.
Wasn't that book a book too?
I don't know, but it was Shawn Mendes singing as a crocodile.
I'm pretty sure that Lyle Crocodile was a book first.
People keep wondering where Tori Kelly is, and I say, watch an animated children's movie because she is there singing her goddamn fucking ass off. She's in all of those.
Yeah, so yeah, it was a book.
Okay.
So again, nothing new. Okay. Next,
we have writer number 1. Would they be wrong to force their roommate to go on a pre-date before inviting someone over? 22% said the writer is wrong. 78% said the writer is not wrong. Someone said maybe the friend wanted to get her freak on. I don't know. I relate more on the roommate as someone who's been on grinder trips in the past. I do understand the writer on wanting her roommate to be safe, of course, especially in today's political climate. Someone else said,
I feel like Grindr is different because it's usually somebody of the same sex, and like there's a different thing where it's a man coming over to a woman's house.
Yeah, there's like a, you know, I mean, like even like
comfortability and safety.
Well,
and
it also I was gonna say my friends who like when they were going on like Grindr hookups or whatever, like I'd be like, you're not bringing them back here. Like I'm not like I don't know who this is, but also at the same time, I'm gonna look through their profile and I'm gonna tell you if you're gonna go there or not, because if they give me bad vibe, I don't want you going there either. Yeah. But like you can gauge if you're like around the same like build, the same size or whatever that is, like there is a level of like you can do that kind of like risk assessment and you can have like a better estimate of that. But like I think in general, I don't know, I also think straight guys in general don't portray themselves accurately. And so I think that like, you know, a lot of times Grindr, it's like not even getting a face pic. So you're like, okay, I can at least see your body. I can see how tall you are. Like there are these things that's like just kind of cut and dry versus like men. It's like you can show up and be like 75 pounds heavier and like you're going to physically overpower me really easily. And so I think there's just like a level of like not being as transparent on like traditionally quote unquote straight dating apps because it's not as hookup driven, even though it is. You know what I mean? It's not like as explicitly.
And Hinge itself is like less hookup driven than if they were on.
Yeah, you did more manipulative men. That's the issue.
Yeah.
Someone said, I voted that the writer's wrong, but I definitely feel like it's more nuanced than that. Obviously, I think it's important to feel comfortable in your home, so I get the writer's point of view. But at the same time, I think of all of the roommates who would bring people home from bars for hookups, and it wasn't a big deal. Like, I don't see a difference between a one-night stand and the party, especially at the party. There would at least be more people around if the guy's a weirdo. I once had a roommate who had some random guys over for drinks and gave them a passcode to get in our front door, and that pissed me off, especially because we live in a super rural area at the time. But mostly, I think the party is going to have randoms at regardless, so why not have a random from a dating app?
Meeting someone at a bar, that's the pre-date. That's exactly what that the writer was talking about. You've talked to this person. You're not just, which some people have done, but like you're not just pointing at somebody and like, let's go back to my place. You're talking to this person and there's a vibe and you've pre-vetted them. So that's not the same scenario.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Cause like there is a big difference between this person is in my safe place. How do I get them out if I don't feel safe? Versus like that can always happen. Like it can shift. It can be totally safe and then be unsafe and you have to deal with that. But inviting someone over before having done any of that aspect of it, that to me is like, oh, I can know within the first 5 seconds if this is not it. And now I have to be like, how do I get you out of my house?
Yep.
And like, how do I do that? And like that to me, it's different than a one-night stand. And also there's a level of like, again, unfortunately, there's a level of like expectation that men have in general on a dating app when they feel like they've been, like that to me, I'm like, you're just opening it up for someone who is, think like that fucking guy from the other party, the other episode where they like, hooked up with a girl and then she wasn't into it and hooked up with someone else and he's like upset and like livid and crying. I'm like, guys can get like really fucking intense about something that they feel like, even if they have no relationship there, they can really create that. And like I've just had some very weird guys on dating apps who feel that the relationship's a lot more meaningful or deeper in that, and then letting them into your private space when you could usually tell from the first fucking 5 minutes if it's a yes or a no. Now you've figured out how to get them out of your home.
Right.
Someone said, I say it depends on the reason for the pre-date. That's fair. The general idea of people inviting Tinder dates into their home has always stressed me out. Being a one-night stand girl or inviting a date over to my home is literally never a thing I would do, especially if I had a roommate. Someone else said, force is the key word here. True. Writer's roommate should definitely not give strangers their address, but Meghan is right. Their vetting process probably sucks, so 2 pre-dates. I feel like 2 is hopefully enough to suss out the creeps. I voted that the writer is wrong with the follow-up qualifier. If it's a rager, then the writer's wrong. If it's a kickback, then the writer is not wrong. I'm also kind of confused about the writer's comment implying that the Hinge date would be over multiple nights in a row when they said people wouldn't be over the next night. That seems excessive even for a vetted Hinge date, but maybe I misunderstood that part. My brain is so fried due to current events. Also not sure if the phrase kickback is even used anymore, but I don't have it in me to look up more modern verbiage. I was going to say, was kickback what you used as a term?
No.
I wondered if it's regional.
I mean, I'm familiar with it. It's not something I personally use, but it was used.
In a timeline, or do you think it's more regional?
No, it's used. I don't like the term.
Oh, okay. Because like I'm like, yeah, kickback.
What they meant by, I think there was a misunderstanding. The person was saying there's going to be a lot of people over our house for the party, But then the next day, what if he shows up and like there's not a lot of people there?
Mm-hmm.
That's what they meant by that.
Yeah. Someone said, Ryder's not wrong for bad vibes, but predate doesn't sound like the best option. Yeah. Yeah, I'd never invite someone over for the first date because they shouldn't have my address before I've even been able to assess whether they're creepy at all. The one time I let a first date drive me home, I had him drop me off a few houses down and it was fine, but I decided to never do that again.
Yeah, because they can follow you.
Yeah. And it's just like, I don't want to like put any responsibility on like, like we're responsible for keeping ourselves safe, because you can do absolutely everything and like still not be safe. Like we shouldn't have to do any of this. But it is one of those things that like we are allowed to make decisions for our own safety when it affects just us. And like people might judge that, people might think it's a good or a bad thing, or, you know, I wouldn't do that or whatever. But when you do have roommates or you have anybody else involved in that aspect of it, you can't decide to make decisions that are, you can't assume the risk there, because it's not just about you. It's not just your risk anymore. And so it has to be a agreement on that stuff. But I also think that the solution, which I don't think I even said before, it's set her up with someone else. If she's got a bad picker.
You said that during.
Yeah, like that's just what you invest all the time in that. That's it for that one.
I think you're on mute.
Workday starting to sound the same?
I think you're on mute.
Find something that sounds better for your career on LinkedIn. With LinkedIn Job Collections, you can browse curated collections by relevant industries and benefits, like flex PTO or hybrid workplaces, so you can find the right job for you. Get started at linkedin.com/jobs. Finding where you fit. LinkedIn knows how.
Hi, I'm Laura Cathcart-Robbins, and I am the host and creator of the podcast, Only One in the Room. Every week, my co-host Scott Slaughter and I invite you to join us and lose yourself in someone's only one story. The Only One in the Room has a wide variety of guests, from prisoners to abuse survivors to swingers. With 21 seasons and counting, we guarantee that Only One in the Room will have a story that you'll connect with. This podcast is for anyone who has ever felt alone in a room full of people, which is to say that this podcast is for everyone.
From the podcast that brought you to each of the last lesbian bars in the country and back in time through the sapphic history that shaped them, comes a brand new season of cruising beyond the bars. This is your host, Sarah Gabrielli, and I've spent the past year interviewing history-making lesbians and queer folks about all kinds of queer spaces, from bookstores to farms to line dancing and much more. You can listen to Cruising on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes air every other Tuesday starting February 4th.
So next we have writer number 2. Would it be wrong to tell their classmate they don't have friendship vibes?
I'm addicted to this one. And I love that everybody was on the same camp as us.
34% said the writer is wrong. 66% said the writer is not wrong.
To clarify, nobody thinks that they should say this.
We'll get through. We'll talk about it.
I just want to make sure that the writer doesn't hear this and go, all clear.
I mean, I'm not 100% sold they shouldn't.
No, I said it's just that's on the first step.
Someone said not wrong with intention, but I think the method of delivery could be wrong depending on how they do it.
Yep.
Another person said, the sentiment, no. In those words, absolutely wrong, but bold.
Wrong, but I respect it.
Another person said, not wrong in the sentiment, but def wrong if she were to say it as bluntly as that. Someone else said, this would be so mean, LOL. Meghan and Melissa's advice is excellent. Stop responding frequently and keep it class related. Or introduce them to your enemy. Introduce them to your enemy and say enemy has something in common with them.
That's like that's like everyone's playing checkers, you're playing chess. Like,
right.
That's a good one.
But I like how you started it, that this person started with, this is so mean, and then it says something diabolical.
Well, that's the part that's crazy, because all of us are basically being like, oh my God, this person sounds the worst. I totally get you. You have to be a little bit nicer, though. You don't have to be friends with them. God, no. But like, let's find a way to ghost them slightly nicer.
Right.
And like, it's not even leaps and bounds nicer. It's just like marginally nicer.
Mm-hmm. Someone else said, I think your suggestion of just being short, taking forever to reply, not answering is the way to go. Another person said, I agree that she shouldn't come out and say it, but slowly force the relationship in a classmate way. Another person said, I agree with you two here, but can't vote that the writer's right because the way they wanted to do it was not it.
If they like write back and say, so I just did it like that, I'll die. I still want to hear it though.
All right.
Then we have my wrong of the week. And I would like to say Daily Mail was a little diabolical for the photos because I searched for this one. The one that Daily Mail was using, she was picking her nose. And I was like, stop. Stop making
Daily Mail is so awful.
Like, stop making Fart Girl her photos with your fucking high res camera is her picking her nose. Like, let her have one singular, like, she made her bodily functions public to at least more than one person. Don't make it for the rest of us.
But also, if they have a photo of her picking her nose, that means she posted a photo of her picking her nose.
No, it's them outside the courthouse, Melissa.
Okay, well, she knew the cameras were on her.
I know.
That's
I'm just
the choice
saying,
she made.
It is getting confusing when we're talking about farting.
She probably did it on purpose.
She is making
honest.
eye contact with her finger.
Yeah, she's doing it on purpose. This woman loves
she loves
people
the body
to
play.
see her playing with a hole in her body in some type of way.
Ew. On that note, 92% said she was wrong. 8% said she wasn't wrong. This is another one where people were like, I'm so sorry, I think I voted wrong. Someone said, wait, I voted wrong because I'm only remembering the farts, which I find hilarious, but then I remember there's child custody involved, so they're wrong. That's fair. It's fair. I do kind of want to see the videos, though. It just sounds too funny not to.
You sound like somebody that like to watch Two Girls, One Cup.
No, don't put that on them. This is what I understand is that, like, we talked about this before. I need to understand the composition of the videos. Like, what? And this can't be a flattering angle. And, like, is the goal for it to be as gross as possible? Or are you like, I still want to look kind of cute? Like, because, like, don't you want her to be jealous of you? And, like, I don't know, how good is your bare, like, do you bleach your asshole before this? Like, I have so many questions.
All right, my wrong of the week, ice baiting content. 97% said baiting is wrong. 3% said baiting is not wrong. Someone said, it's even more frustrating with things like this because these people truly see nothing wrong with what they're doing. Anyone who actually cares about what's going on with these raids would know enough to not put any more targets on people's backs and would know how completely dehumanizing this is. Someone said, Pinche Payaso, this is the first time I'm hearing about this trend, if you can even call it that. And it's fucking disgusting. And he's putting possible undocumented Latinos at risk. Like, what in the actual fuck is wrong with you, fucking gringo pendejo que chinga su madre?
Yep. Co-sign that.
Oh, there was more. Sorry. Like, the people around him think it's some dumb white man doing a TikTok, which he is, but the stupidest reason. And because of him, I feel like ICE will target those areas looking for undocumented people. And from experience, seeing ICE take family members away is the most traumatizing thing to ever witness.
And there's also now happening, is they're taking indigenous people and demanding United States state birth certificates and not tribal documents and saying that those are not enough. And like,
what do you fucking mean?
Yeah. And like specifically, like, you know, like you can't get more American than indigenous to this land. Mm-hmm. Like, it's fucking wild.
And you know what the next step in that is.
Mm-hmm.
Camps, and not in the fun way.
Mm-hmm. This video from Becca, is her last name Davis? Becca, what's your last name? Becca Day. She makes great content. Love her. She's also being sued with Lily and Jesse. she's in that group.
Okay.
But she makes fantastic content. She does like really great like breakdowns of stuff. She did a whole deep dive on like Elon Musk's like whole family and like all of his origin stuff. Like she's really good at what she does. And she made a video about, she said that she's like, I'm probably the last one to put this together, but like talking about during the campaign when Trump is talking about like, oh, immigrants are taking black jobs. And then she's like, I'm having this realization that they're being like, let's just do slavery here again in this different iteration and context. Yes. And she was like, I'm probably the last person to figure this out. But she was like, that is because like if you're like the part that he's not talking about, like he's specifically viewing in his words, not his words, because I would never use his words, in his mind, migrants are working in agriculture. They're working in the fields. And he goes, no, we'll just put slavery back in there.
Right. Yep.
And she was like, holy fucking shit.
But also saying that those are the only type of jobs that black people have too.
Well, but then the same time as like tearing down DEI, making it be like, no, we want to make sure that the only job you can have is this. And it's like,
yep,
it's all
connected.
Exactly. It's all tied together. But she makes great content if anyone wants to watch her. I really enjoy her.
Hello, I am Kristen Russo.
And I am Jenny Owen Youngs.
We are the hosts of Buffering the Vampire Slayer once more with spoilers, a rewatch podcast covering all 144 episodes of, you guessed it, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
We are here to humbly invite you to join us for our 5th Buffy prom, which, if you can believe it, we are hosting at the actual Sunnydale High School. That's right. On April 4th and 5th, we will be descending upon the campus of Torrance High School, which was the filming location for Buffy's Sunnydale High, to dance the night away to 90s music in the iconic courtyard, to sip on punch right next to the Sunnydale High fountain, and to nerd out together in our prom best inside of the set of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
All information and tickets can be found at bufferingcast.com/prom. Come join us.
With something like 5 million podcasts, finding a really good one can take a ton of time. So let me recommend one. It's called Something You Should Know. I'm the host, Mike Carruthers, and in each episode, we discuss topics that can be really helpful, like how to read people better, the psychology of crowds, or fun things like the story of Legos, or why you probably wouldn't be here if it weren't for horses. Something You Should Know is the name of it, wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Amy Nicholson, the film critic for the LA Times.
And I'm Paul Scheer, an actor, writer, and director. You might know me from The League, Veep, or my non-eligible for Academy Award role in Twisters.
We love movies, and we come at them from different perspectives.
Yeah, like Amy thinks that, Joe Pesci was miscast in Goodfellas, and I don't.
He's too old. Let's not forget that Paul thinks that Dune 2 is overrated.
It is.
Anyway, despite this, we come together to host Unspooled, a podcast where we talk about good movies, critical hits,
fan favorites, must-sees, and in case you missed them.
We're talking Parasite to Home Alone.
From Grease to The Dark Knight.
We've done deep dives on popcorn flicks. We've talked about why Independence Day deserves a second look.
And we've talked about horror movies, some that you've never even heard of, like Ganja and Hess.
So if you love movies like we do, come along on our cinematic adventure.
Listen to Unspooled wherever you get your podcasts.
And don't forget to hit the follow button.
My predictions are just coming true, left, right, and center. Someone did say, like, Miley and Beyonce have a song on Cowboy Carter. Does that count? And I was like, no,
that was the whole...
That was me saying I need them to do something. Like,
right.
We're getting closer. Because if anyone's seen... Was it Stand Up to Cancer?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the Stand Up to Cancer, if anyone's seen, the way that those photos could be the cover of so many fanfics. Like, the way that Miley Cyrus is just enamored with Beyonce. She loves her to death. As soon as we all saw them sing together, saw those photos, everybody, since those photos came out, said, we need a duet. I need them singing together.
The thing is like after, I don't know if you've seen Miley was doing like a room tour or something, but Beyonce like gifted her a few things too. And like they've been friends. And I think that Beyonce has like took Miley under her wing at certain points in time.
And she has really like she was, I would say that like Beyonce's probably one of the first big artists that wasn't like Dolly Parton to like validate Miley in the music. And like she's been a big supporter for a long time. So it has been a long time coming for them to do this again together, because their voices also just sound impeccable together. Like they've got such great tones.
Yep.
And so it being on the list is I need them there. They don't have to wear the Stand Up Cancer shirts again. They don't have to do that, but I do need them I need them in the same room with microphones together.
What is hilarious about that is that Beyonce was filming Cadillac Records at the same time. And so
is that why the hair?
That's why she literally left set with her wig on where she was playing Etta James.
I always wondered. I was like, we didn't see this. There's not a lot of red carpets with this, but no, she came
literally
from the
left set.
She left 9 to 5 to 5.
Yeah.
That makes so much sense. That is funny. That checks out. I've always wondered that part. I was like, damn, we really going for politician's wife in the hair here. And then we never saw, and then
yeah, it's
not again.
That's what she has on.
That's what it's for.
Records. But yeah, and then people were showing that clip from Hannah Montana where Miley is like, it was Hannah her name's Miley in the show, right?
Miley Stewart.
Miley is like pretending to accept an award at the Grammys and says, I can't believe that I'm nominated in the same category as Beyonce.
Yeah. She loves Beyonce.
Mm-hmm.
And Beyonce loves her, which is so rare because all of us love Beyonce. Beyonce doesn't know all of us. She knows you, cousin. Doesn't know us. But like, God. So that's, I'm just hoping. I'm hoping for a live.
Maybe they'll do it when they're here.
I shit myself. It's on a school night, which is good. All of them are on the weekday, which is good for us.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much for other people. Do you have a Citi credit card? Does anyone?
No. I did have one a long time ago. And I don't have it. I don't know if it's still, I might
check it.
I should check and see. But I had one at one point, but I don't have one now.
Mott
but I'm part of the BAIW one.
So you're getting that pre-sale?
Huh? Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm stressed.
I know. But I might have to have you log in because I'm directing an audiobook at 7:00 in the morning.
Okay. No, I will stay up all night. Like, it is actually not an option for me not to go.
Yeah. Me either. But I do think
it's going to be
a Vegas residency.
I would fucking die.
If there is one, I'm going to get tickets for my mom.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah, because she loves it, but like it's never. I mean, the Kansas one is close because it's only 2.5 hours, but there's not a Kansas. This is just like bigger cities plus Vegas, which is a big city, but there's no Vegas dates.
Gotta know. I saw someone who was like literally crashing out on their TikTok being like, what do I do? Because the closest Beyonce date to me is the week bore my wedding and I have to go.
I saw.
And she was like,
there's another one.
Do I cancel my wedding?
She's due the week that she's wearing. She's like, she lifts up her shirt, is like, what the fuck?
I would be so mad. I would be like, yeah,
baby, you gotta stay in. Thank you for joining us for See You Next Tuesday. We will see you on tomorrow, Wednesday, because you're just catching up on old episodes or re-listening to episodes. Thursday, we've got Don't Blame Me. Friday, we've got Fisting Friday. Monday, But Am I Wrong? And Tuesday, back here for See You Next Tuesday, which you can watch on Spotify if you haven't been watching.
Watch. We're beautiful. We're gorgeous. We're fun. BAIW is buzzing.
BAIW is buzzing. It wasn't.
I just kept listening to it over and over and over again.
Because she was so much shock. Like,
no, she forgot that Blue said no interviews, and she said suddenly I'm giving an interview.
And then she was like, "Here's my excitement."
It was bubbling so over. It was just the best.
It was like best. That guy. It was like he turned something on in her because she kept going, and he said the BAIW is buzzing, and she was like,
"Yeah, yeah." Oh my god, I fucking love it.
Right.
Okay.
We will see you next
Tuesday.
This is a Sister Sign production hosted by me, Megan Rinks.
And me, Melissa D. Montz, plus Diamond Imprint Productions.
Ladies and gentlemen.
What are you doing?
What do you mean?
Just keep it simple.
I'm making the promo.
Just keep it simple. Just say, hey, we're the Brav Bros. Two guys that talk about Bravo.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're the Brav Bros.
No.
Oh.
Dude. Stop with the voice. Just keep it simple.
I've seen promos on TV, dude. This is how you get the fans engaged. This is how you get listeners. We're trying to get listeners here. If we just say, oh, we're two dudes that talk about Bravo, people are going to get tired of it already. We need some oomph.
All right, then fine. Let's try to do it with your voice.
Brav Bros.
Good job.
Contained herein are the heresies of Radolf Buntwine, erstwhile monk turned traveling medical investigator. Join me as I study the secrets of the divine plagues and uncover the blasphemous truth that ours is not a loving God, and we are not its favored children. The heresies of Radolf Buntwine, wherever podcasts are available.
Do you love Disney? Do you love top 10 lists? Then you are going to love our hit podcast, Disney Countdown. I'm Megan, the magical millennial.
And I'm the dapper Danielle.
On every episode of our fun and family-friendly show, we count down our top 10 lists of all things Disney. The parks, the movies, the music, the food, the lore. There is nothing we don't cover on our show.
We are famous for rabbit holes, Disney-themed games, and fun facts you didn't know you needed.
I had Danielle and Megan record some answers to seemingly meaningless questions. I asked Danielle what insect song is typically higher pitched in hotter temperatures and lower pitched in cooler temperatures.
You got this.
No, I didn't.
Don't believe that. About a wish coming true? Well, I didn't either. Of course, I'm just a
cicada. I'm crying. I'm so sorry, Jiminy.
You win that one.
So if you're looking for a healthy dose of Disney magic, check out Disney Countdown wherever you get your podcasts.